Hello friends, it's Sheree from Turquoise Dreaming. How you doing today? Welcome to my channel and thank you for joining me. This is the Mother Goose book that we've been working on. So I'll show you the final cover here. This coil binding, you just flip it around so that it goes to the back right there. See how it kind of pushes to the back, okay, in case you get this. And I'm going to try to keep it in frame because it's tall and it barely fits. So these are the pages that are coming along with it. There's quite a few here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 pages there, front and back, 20 pages. And then, so here's the front. It's, if you count just from the book, it's 4 3/4 inches wide. If you add on the coil binding, it's 5 1/4, and it's 12 inches long. That's the front. This is the book we rescued, pretty much. It was in really sad, bad shape, and I have completely redone it as far, as far as just kind of putting it back together. And if you haven't seen the first video, just go back, to part 1, or this is the 5th video on this, so four more videos back, and you'll see where we started with this. But I think it came out really neat. It's just, it is what it is, in a very old, book that was in sad shape, and now it's a very cool journal, I think. So let's just get started with a quick flip through here. We put Mary, had a little lamb here on the inside cover. This was the beautiful paper that was already here. There was a page with Mary on it, and we cut her up. Fussy cut her out and put her words here, put her here, and her title down here. So that came out really nice. And so that's the inside of the front cover. And then I used book pages from the book in here. So that's what this is here. There were just a couple little weak spots. And whoever gets this journal, if you see any weak spots, I just put some, this is a little bit of a tiny piece of washi tape here, just to make sure, I put it on both sides because it looked like there was a tiny little rip. It was almost like not a rip. It was kind of like it was getting ready to rip. And so I put that there just to make sure, it wasn't going to rip as we flip the pages, and as someone gets this and flips the pages. So that's what I like to do when I see, a weakness like that. Strengthen it with some washi tape. So I did also use some one-sided and two-sided scrapbook paper in here. This is the one-sided where on the back it was white, and I dyed it with some green food coloring, and I just sprayed it on so you can kind of see the spray. It's not a solid color. It's kind of, it makes a nice effect of kind of shaded colors. So I really like doing that. So that's a flip out. Then I used a vintage, it was a tall music book that I had, and it's vintage, it's old. Anyway, I cut that up and made some pages out of that. So that's coffee dyed also. This is a page here from double-sided scrapbook paper. Sewed a pocket down here that is from, let me see if I can hold that up. This is sewed on from a piece from the inside of the back cover that was pretty much falling off. It was basically, part of it was off and part of it was almost off. So I just took it off and recovered the inside of the back cover and used the pieces to decorate the journal. So this piece I made a pocket out of. And in here I just have a tag that I had made. It's sewn around, and this was made from a vintage newspaper that my son also brought me home one day. And really cool. It was so brown. If you can see the color on this, this was the color of, I think it was from the early 80s. It wasn't like 100 years old or anything, but it was still nice and brown. So very cool when you collage with it, the effect you get. So that's sewn around. I put a couple of little pieces on there. It can be journaled on the back. So I used some of I was able to use, since this is such a nice tall journal, I was able to use some of my tall ephemera in here. So also, this is a bookmark that was like, I had it in my stash. It's a souvenir bookmark from Jerusalem. And these look like dried flowers. I think it's just printed on there, but they're so pretty. They look like dried flowers. And then there's some pictures on the back from Jerusalem. So I thought that was cool. So I just turned it upside down and put it in here so it can go in the pocket. And there's a little tassel down up, you know, that's actually on the bottom, but I wanted it to be up here. These are 2 of the journaling cards we worked on last night. So these are made, when you see these are made from a couple of book pages from this book. And I did go ahead and distress around them last night after the video. I just decided they would look so good distressed, and the brown border does look really pretty on there. If you can, hopefully you can see that. So those are in that pocket. And ledger paper here. This is I had just a few pieces of tall ledger or long ledger from a thrift store, and so I folded a couple of pieces up and made pockets. They're sewn, you know, on the edges, and there's another piece back in the back here, but that came in really handy. I decorated. I said I was going to very, very lightly decorate, and that's what I did. I just decorated the 2 pockets on the ledger paper with a page, pieces from a page from this book. So that's what that is right there. Very pretty. And then in that pocket, a journaling card, and these are 3. This is a journaling card made from scrapbook paper, and these 3 are made from this book. Very cute. So those are in there. Let's see if I can get them back in there now. And there's a pretty page from the book. And then some of the music book paper that's been dyed, and this is the other one of the other pieces from the back cover, inside of the back cover right here. I just glued it right down right there. And I said in the video, last night, I think I said it. I think it was last night that I said it. I actually glued it down, and then I went over the top of this one especially with a glue stick to kind of almost like Mod Podge it down, because that paper was just so weak and, you know, ready to just crack up into pieces. So it feels really solid now. So whoever gets this will feel it. You can feel the solidness of it, but it's not sticky or anything at all. That works out really well. I've done that before with like napkins and things. If I'm putting napkin on something instead of Mod Podge, I'll use a glue stick, and it really works well, and it looks really nice. Here's a time card, a tall time card that can, you know, you can write on there or glue something on there, whatever you want. I used some old vintage computer paper here in this journal. It was really cool because I got to leave the track on here with the holes. So you could weave something through there if you wanted to. I didn't feel like it was my place to do that. Sometimes I would do that like in another journal, but for this journal, I was just led to not do it. I just felt like it was that person who gets this could decide whether they want something woven into those holes. So it was really cool. I could just cut that in half, and it was the perfect size for this journal. So here's a pretty page from the book. And then here I have a paper clip on this fold out scrapbook paper page with a couple of pieces. This is a journaling card here, like a pretty journaling card with a butterfly. And this is one of my Italian restaurant guest checks. It's tall, and you can see the back is real pretty. Like here it is right side up with the pretty colors. There's a really neat little section of lines here. This is beverages, and this is a blank section. And then over here, this is a flip up here where you have all the space to do whatever you want to do there. So I think those are really fun and cool and unique, you know. I found those and I was like, wow, those are cool. I've never seen anything like that. And so I picked those up. And I have some in my shop. Here is a book page from the book. And this is a double-sided scrapbook paper. So here's the other ledger with the pocket. And I decorated that one with some pieces from the book. And you see that? Okay, yeah. Yep, and I put the title in a little piece from the word so you would know, because it just says Jack under the picture there, and I wanted you to know who Jack was, so I put some reference there so you know what rhyme that came from, what Mother Goose rhyme. This is a little bag I had made from double-sided scrapbook paper, and this is a postcard that I had made from my old postcards, collection of postcards that I have. I copied one, and so this is what this is, and then it's on cardstock so that you have a journaling card, actually. And then a couple pieces from this book again, a couple of journaling cards that we worked on last night. This is a bag that I made to look like a bank envelope. It's very cool. It's an envelope, and it's made from a pretty magazine page, and I just decorate it with a few things here. There's some pearls actually right here on the flowers, and there's some down here. I added that sticker, buttons, lace, and some washi. So I was having fun that day, so decorated that. Came out so pretty. Sorry about if there's any shadows. It's night time, dark outside, and you know, that's causes some shadows sometimes. So here's some more of the coffee dyed computer paper, page from the book. So I'll just flip until we get to something I need to tell you about. This is a side pocket that's sewn, and then another one of my Italian restaurant guest checks. There, those are just so fun. I don't get to use them very much because they're pretty tall, you know. This is a little booklet that I made from, this is from a children's book, not this one, but it's a little booklet, and it's sewn together here with some fabric, and then it has some miscellaneous papers in there. These are actually, I think these are food color dyed blue papers that I have in here. That's what they look like to me. Yeah, that's what those are. Very pretty. And then this is a piece that I made from an old postcard that was a neat, you know, it was never used, and it was vintage. It was this color, and but I didn't like the front what was on the front, so I copied my cigarette album, and it's botanical, and so I copied a page from that and sewed that on the front of it to cover up whatever was on the front that I didn't like. So that is a journaling card. So this is some ledger, music, flip out here with double-sided scrapbook paper, ledger, time card, page from this book. Hope you don't mind if I'm going fast. I don't want to, you know, dwell on just, you know, something that you is pretty obvious what it is, right? One side is scrapbook paper that's dyed on this side. It's green here, and then that's the color. Here's music book paper where I sewed on some fabric as a pocket. Can you see this? It's kind of tall, so it's a little bit hard to, I'm trying to make sure it's in frame, but it's a little bit tall to, I want to have it close to the camera, close enough for you to see, but then, you know, if I get too close, then you can't, you know, the journal's not in frame, so it's a dilemma. So this is a couple pieces from an Easter seal, little booklet, a little, you know, notepad. This was so cute. This is the paper that was in it. It has lines on both sides, and it has a little, like, little chick up here, and then there's a little calendar there. I just thought that was kind of, it looked very vintage, even though it was from 2019, so I just thought it was neat. And then this is a journal card made from a page from this book. And this is another children's book item that I had, not this book, not from this book, but I had made this cardstock, and I just put a page on the front from a children's book, sewed around, and it's just so cute because of the image here of this little chicken. So put that in there. Fold out here, double-sided scrapbook paper, ledger, music, computer paper, and a page from the book. And you can see, same thing, I kind of repeat until I get to the end. Double-sided scrapbook paper, fold out ledger, it's that tall ledger there. Then coffee dyed paper, and This is from this book, Pretty Images, copy dyed paper. And then this is a single-sided scrapbook paper. There's, I think it was 50 pages or 100 fronts and backs in here. And so here's another fold out where I added a paper clip. This is an owl paper clip. The other one was a heart. This is this little shape here called an owl paper clip. Folds out. This is double-sided scrapbook paper. So you've got a nice big page there. And then here I have, this is an old little note card. Let's see, does it open? No, it's just it's has a word here in well, that says Bethlehem. I thought it was a foreign language, but no, it looks like it says Bethlehem. So, but it's old, and I thought these were neat. So it's blank on the back. You could write on there as a journaling card. And then this is a little piece that I made, just opens up and you can journal in there. And it has a telephone there that says hello. This is a little index card with a tab. And then this is a little file folder that you can write inside or do whatever you want. And so I just have those held together with that paper clip. And then another fold out here of ledger paper and copy dyed paper, time card. And this is, we're almost at the end here. This is a page from the book. Really beautiful. I love this right here. She's so cute. And then music. Here's the other piece from the back cover that I put right here. And I said in my video, just in case you didn't see it, even though this is like a rip right here, I left it because of this kitty cat. So if you didn't like the rip, you could cover it up. But this is glued down flat again, you know, nice and flat. But I didn't want to take off the kitty cat. There's a little mouse up there too. So I just really thought this was pretty, and I like the kitty cat. And I didn't want to, you know, take the rip off and leave it like that with half a kitty cat. So I left the whole thing. So, and then there's a ledger, and this is what I had put, just in case you didn't see the video where we talked about this. This was a page from the book that I recovered the inside of the back cover with Humpty Dumpty. So cute, right? And there we go. That's it. So I hope you enjoyed that little series. I totally enjoyed it. And I loved making this cinch journal too. And I showed you last night, but just in case, again, that you didn't see it. If you didn't notice how when you do the cinch journal, and it just lays flat like this. Kind of nice, right? Kind of nice just to have it laying flat, and then you can take it, write, glue on your pages, glue on your pictures, whatever you're doing, and just have a nice flat surface. So I think that's really neat. So this is already in my shop, and I'm already organizing in my mind my next project. So I just have to get everything out and start it. But I'll be starting a new project this week that I'm very excited about. And I can't wait to get started on it. So look for that coming up. And also I was going to do my scrappy, you know, scrap with me kind of video today. But I didn't do it. I kind of finished this journal, and I said, well, you know, I'm not, you know, I don't have to do the scrappy video today. Let me just do it tomorrow, and I'll do this one, the flip through today. Or I wanted to show you, if you saw the video last night, you saw it was already bound last night, and we were just working on ephemera pretty much. But you can see how much it kind of chunked out with the ephemera in here. So when you take the ephemera out, if you wanted to, it would, you know, not be so chunky. But you can see why I was being careful on how many pages I put in here. I didn't want to put any more pages than I did, because it's already, you know, with the ephemera now especially, pretty chunky. So, and it looks pretty too with all the pages in here. I wanted to show you from the side. Here's the top, here's the bottom. So cool. It's so cool. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Happy crafting.